America has always been the land of opportunity, but for some cities, that opportunity has turned into a full-blown disaster. Skyrocketing crime, unchecked lawlessness, and a growing homeless crisis are pushing these once thriving places into total collapse. From major urban hubs to once peaceful suburbs, these cities are spiraling out of control, and unless something changes fast, they might not recover. Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 cities collapsing fastest in America, and trust me, some of these might surprise you. Before we jump in, don't forget to subscribe to Expedition Explorers for more shocking and eye-opening content like this. 10. Portland, Oregon, from hipster heaven to anarchy. Portland used to be known for its coffee, craft beer, and weird but lovable charm. Now? It's more famous for crime, homelessness, and businesses fleeing in droves. The city's hands-off approach to law enforcement has led to a surge in drug use, vandalism, and violent crime. In some areas, crime rates have increased by 207%, and major retailers like REI, Walmart have shut down stores due to theft and safety concerns. Homeless encampments now cover entire neighborhoods, with over 6,000 people living on the streets. Once a vibrant and progressive city, Portland is now struggling to maintain even basic order. If things don't turn around soon, it might just become a case study on how not to run a city. 9. San Francisco, California, tech billionaires versus tent cities. San Francisco has some of the richest people in the world, yet somehow, it also has one of the worst homelessness and crime problems in the country. The city's lenient policies have allowed open-air drug markets and rampant theft to flourish. Over 50% of major downtown stores have shut down due to theft, and the fentanyl epidemic has taken over the streets, with over 800 overdose deaths in 2023 alone. Property crime remains among the highest in the nation, and even though the city operates on a $14 billion budget, its problems only seem to worsen. Despite its stunning views and tech-driven economy, San Francisco is quickly becoming a place where even the wealthy feel unsafe. 8. New Orleans, Louisiana, a city held hostage by crime. New Orleans is famous for its music, food, and culture, but lately, it's been making headlines for its out-of-control crime. The city now has one of the highest murder rates in the U.S., with 52 homicides per 100,000 people, a number higher than some war zones. The New Orleans Police Department is 300 officers short, leaving entire districts with little to no law enforcement presence. As a result, residents are living in fear, and tourists are canceling trips over safety concerns. With crime so rampant and no real plan in place to curb the violence, the city's biggest economic driver, tourism, is at serious risk of collapse. 7. Los Angeles, California, Hollywood's crime thriller. Los Angeles might be the entertainment capital of the world, but its real-life crime story is anything but glamorous. Homeless encampments stretch for miles, smash-and-grab robberies are a daily occurrence, and police officers are quitting in record numbers. Over 75,000 people are currently homeless in LA, more than the entire population of some small cities. Retail theft has forced major stores like Target and Nordstrom to close multiple locations, while the LAPD struggles to keep up with rising crime. Even Hollywood elites are fleeing to safer areas. When the wealthiest people in the country, who can afford private security, start leaving, you know things have really gotten bad. 6. Chicago, Illinois, the Windy City or the war zone. Chicago's crime problem is nothing new, but it has reached insane levels in recent years. Flash mob robberies, gang violence, and carjackings have made parts of the city feel like a real-life GTA game. Over 600 homicides were recorded in 2023, and carjackings have surpassed 2,000 incidents in a single year. Even large corporations are speaking out. McDonald's CEO recently warned that Chicago is becoming unlivable for businesses. Despite its rich history and economic power, Chicago is at risk of becoming a city that people avoid rather than flock to. 5. Seattle, Washington, a city in self-destruction mode. Seattle was once a booming tech hub, but today, it's plagued by skyrocketing crime, drug abuse, and homelessness. Crime has increased by 24% in the past year alone, and homeless encampments have taken over public parks, sidewalks, and even school areas. The city's fentanyl crisis has reached record levels, leading to an all-time high in overdose deaths. With a police force that is stretched thin and laws that allow criminals back on the streets within hours, Seattle is on a fast track to disaster. 4. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the city of brotherly crime. Philadelphia has always been a tough city, but today, it's spiraling out of control. Violent crime is surging, and residents are living in constant fear. The city's homicide rate is one of the highest in the nation, and widespread retail theft has forced many businesses to shut down. Police shortages have left the city vulnerable, with a 30% drop in active officers over recent years. Even gas stations now require armed security guards. When buying snacks feels like entering a bank vault, you know the crime crisis has reached its peak. 3. St. Louis, Missouri, America's most dangerous city? St. Louis consistently ranks among the most dangerous cities in America, and the situation is only getting worse. The violent crime rate here is higher than in both Chicago and Detroit, and the police force is struggling to keep up. Many residents have given up on calling 911 because they know help won't arrive in time. The city's population is declining fast as more people seek safer places to live. At this rate, St. Louis is less of a city and more of a survival challenge. 2. Baltimore, Maryland, a crime epidemic. Baltimore has been battling crime for years, but now, it's on the verge of total collapse. Gangs run entire neighborhoods, drug addiction is rampant, and businesses are leaving in droves. The murder rate remains one of the highest in the nation, and car theft has surged by 700%, especially among Kia and Hyundai models. Economic decline is worsening, and job opportunities are disappearing. Even longtime residents are calling Baltimore a war zone, and unless drastic changes are made, the city's future looks grim. 1. Detroit, Michigan, the American apocalypse? Once the heart of America's auto industry, Detroit is now the poster child for urban decay. While there have been attempts to revitalize the city, crime, unemployment, and poverty remain persistent problems. Detroit still has one of the highest crime rates in the U.S., and with over 70,000 abandoned buildings, entire neighborhoods look like ghost towns. Unemployment remains high, and despite efforts to attract new businesses, many are hesitant to invest in a city with such a troubled past. Detroit's comeback story? Still on hold. Conclusion. From rising crime to a homelessness crisis spiraling out of control, these cities are collapsing before our eyes. Whether it's bad leadership, failed policies, or sheer mismanagement, one thing is clear. If things don't change, these places might never recover. Do you think any of these cities can be saved? Or is their downfall inevitable? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more eye-opening content.